Archipelago? Archipelago. They spelled it AAR.KUH. That's archipelago. This is a pirate word. The Gulag Archipelago. Dear Billy Global Worldwide, I'm a political science major entering my third year. In 2 different classes, we've learned about the Gulag. I'm amazed that it's not taught in high school. It's hard to match the evils of the Holocaust because it was such a concentrated hate, but the Gulag is right there with it. Please read the Wikipedia article on the podcast or even a whole book sometime. P.S. I agree, Woodrow Wilson was an abomination. Yeah, he was. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Let's look this up. Gulag. Why do I always feel like that's like some sort of fucking, like New Orleans dish? You know, you start with, right there, you start with, what do they call it? The trifecta? Celery, onions, and something else, whatever the fuck. I'm just combining all kinds of shit. Wiki. Okay, Gulag. Okay, the Gulag, or Gulag, was the government agency in charge of the Soviet Union network of forced labor camps set up by order of Vladimir Lenin, reaching its peak during Joseph Stalin's rule from the 1930s to the early 1950s. English language speakers also used the word Gulag to refer to forced labor camps that existed in the Soviet Union, including camps that existed in the post-Stalin era. The Gulag is recognized as a major instrument of political repression in the Soviet Union. The camps housed a wide range of convicts, from petty criminals to political prisoners, large numbers of whom were convicted by simplified procedures such as by the, I can't even, I don't know what that word is, or by other instruments. Okay. The internment system grew rapidly, reaching a population of 100,000 in the 1920s. All right, what did they do? Contemporary history, background formation, more death toll, conditions. This is really just a dark podcast. Living and working conditions in the camps varied significantly across time and place, depending, among other things, on the impact of broader events: World War II, countrywide famine and shortages, waves of terror, sudden influx of releases of large numbers of prisoners. However, to one degree or another, the large majority of the prisoners, this is just not going to give. Okay, shack from Gulag, reconstructed Gulag. So what, you just slept on wood? It was famine. Severe famine, 1931-33, swept across many different regions of the Soviet Union. During this time, it is estimated that around 6 to 7 million people starved to death. On August 7, 1932, a new edict drafted by Stalin specified a minimum sentence of 10 years or execution for theft from collective farms. Yeah, I don't want to read about this. This is just terrible shit. How do you do this to... I just do not fucking understand how human beings can do that to other human beings. All right, I'll check out the Gulag Archipelago. I will check that out. Statues versus Biden. What? Statues? The person wrote S-A-T-U-E-S. I read it as statues. Dear Billy Principles, I think that some of these Confederate statues are ridiculous, especially since most were put up during the 1950s and 60s. That's a great point. But honestly, how are people telling me to vote for Biden, who brags to this day about the crime bill, which puts millions of black men in jail for nonviolent crimes, destroying the male role in so many communities? That guy represents so much more than the statues, and every time I bring this up, which is often, people just look at me like I'm stumping for Trump. I hate everyone's stupid opinion. Thanks, and go fuck yourself. Well, welcome to my world. That's where I feel. I mean, and I also don't even know what to believe, because there's so much shit that's attached to anything that any politician ever signs, you know, which I still don't understand why that is illegal to do it. You know why it is, because they would say no to it, because they get voted out of office if they did it. The fact that shit gets attached to bills and everybody's accepting of that, I just think big money is the... Who the fuck do you know walking down the street? What'd you do today? I attached something to a bill. How the fuck did you do that? You don't have any money. I agree with you. But I also think at this point, you know, I don't know. I'm talking too much about politics, okay? I want a leader under center. That's what I want, okay? I want somebody who throws an incomplete pass, comes and says, hey, my bad, doesn't yell at the fucking wide receivers, okay, and has that look in his eye, like we're going to fucking win this, and points out John Candy in the crowd during the final drive of a fucking Super Bowl. That's what I want in a president, whether he's wearing a blue or a fucking red tie. That's all I need. All right, go fuck yourselves. Okay, advice. Sloppy teens from a lady. Hola, Billy Blue Eyes. I live in a unique neighborhood. Unique, New York. Anchorman. I live in a unique neighborhood. It's small and has a private airstrip running through the middle of it. Oh, that's awesome. The houses on the strip have hangars, and most of the owners are retired NASA and Air Force pilots with small planes. Wow. Can you imagine the conversations when they're fucking talking over the fences? Jesus Christ. I bet they all know what shit not to talk about, so they never have to say it's classified. They just know the areas they can't talk. They probably keep it light. Well, did you shoot any fireworks off for the 4th? Okay, at the end of the airstrip, we have a private park with trails and a playground for kids, and in the back, there is a creek with a pipeline crossing it that attracts teenagers swinging off the pipeline into the creek and late-night drinking/partying. It's been ongoing like this for decades, and the neighborhood residents are always trying to figure out how to stop the teenagers from using the park, mostly because of the trash they leave behind. The cops don't do anything except run them off, but they always come back. Lately, the neighborhood residents have been trying to figure out a real way to crack down. For example, towing their cars and pressing charges. I struggle with it. It seems harsh, and we were all teenagers once and had a place to go like this to blow off steam. That's how I look at it. If I ever fucking did that, the level of hypocrite that I would be. We used to go down this place, Dan Road. It was a developing office park. We used to just like to be like a caravan of like fucking 10 cars, just driving down that office, area into this one thing where there was like a trail. It was like all of a sudden you just be off-road and you went all the way into these like woods where they cleared out that I'm sure they've now developed. We would just go down there and get fucked up, and every weekend, either Friday night or Saturday night, a police cruiser would go down there. We'd all fucking run, take off, or do fucking whatever. So how the hell could I sit there and co-sign on that bullshit? I mean, if they're doing like meth and shit and they're being fucking crazy, then yeah. But they're just booze and weed and shit, I don't give a fuck. I gave some goof-off suggestions such as releasing rabid skunks on them, attacking them with paintball guns and stealing their booze, or just putting a fucking trash can there in hopes they would use it. I do enjoy the park with my son, and the mess is actually annoying. Got any fun ideas? What would you suggest if it was your neighborhood? I would probably go down there and just fucking clean it up. That's what I would do, and I would just do what you did. I would have a trash can, and I would just say, don't be a cunt, fucking, something that has vulgarity on it, so they'll think it's funny. I don't know. I remember a long time ago drinking down the Cape at this kid's house, and this old guy came by, and he was yelling at us. So we were drinking out in the front lawn like fucking idiots. Underage, out in the front yard. Stupid, right? He just kept yelling at us, going like, yeah, when I was a kid, we drank. We always had a barrel. Christ, we had a barrel. Kept yelling about having a trash barrel. And looking back, the guy was right. Now, the way he did it was wrong, but I don't know. I can't really judge any of that because I did all of that shit. Any fun ideas? What would you do? Well, you can't fuck with the environment because that's going to come back and bite you in the ass. You going to train these rabid skunks to only come out after the teenagers? Then they're not going to be there, and they're not going to leave a bunch of shit around for the rabid skunks to eat, and then eventually they're going to be in your garbage, so that doesn't work. Paintball guns, I don't know. That's, these fucking kids today, they can't handle that shit. They'd somehow take video, and then you get fucking sued. Stealing their booze, really? Do you really want a fucking case of Keystone Light, whatever the hell kids drink nowadays? Cheap-ass booze. I don't know what I would do. I mean, it'd be fun to fuck with them if you wanted to. It just seems so douchey, though. Something I wouldn't do. I would just let them drink and have a good fucking time, and just realize that they could be doing a lot worse. They could be doing a lot worse, And I don't know. I just go down there. I just would fucking pick the shit up. I've always done that shit. I don't give a fuck. That whole ego thing. Hey, picking up your fucking trash. I don't want to look at it. So I would just go over and I'd just pick it up. That's what you know what I would do? I would go over there before these other fucking adults got up, and I would go over there and I would just clean up the fucking area. And then let them think that whatever fucking thing that they did made those kids go away. And that way the kids can have fun. The adults aren't mad, and you get an exercise picking up the trash. There you go. Problem solved. All right. Wedding proposal advice. Dear Bill, bald as my balls, Burr. All right. Somebody got the fucking manscaper. I discovered your podcast a few months back while working during this pandemic. Shout out to all the essentials. And I can't tell you how much I've been addicted. Oh, that's great. Thank you. I regularly tune in Mondays and Thursdays and look forward every week, and I'm currently listening to earlier podcasts from this year, pre-COVID shitstorm. Anyway, I'm a 24-year-old dude, and I've been with my girlfriend for a couple of years now and have been thinking a lot lately about popping the question. We are both the same age and have stable jobs, and we don't see ourselves leaving anytime soon. Things are great in our relationship. I am not yawning about your life. Just yawning. All right. I was interested in how your proposal to the lovely Nia went and how you knew it was the right time and if you were nervous. I knew it was the right time because she was going to fucking leave me if I didn't. I strung her along as I could. I was terrified. I totally loved her and I wanted to be with her, but I was scared. Was I nervous? I absolutely was nervous. I'm having trouble thinking of how I should propose to her, but I know I want to. I also know she's everything I want, that she's definitely what's best for me. That's great. You discovered it really young. And she has my best interests in mind. Thanks for whatever advice you can lend. And also thanks for doing the podcast. Good shit. Lots of love from New England. And I hope your family is safe during these times. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, I don't know. Throughout the years with the internet and the cell phone cameras, like people really think they got to do like this big giant fucking thing. I did not do a big giant thing. Because I know if I tried to fucking plan anything, she would have figured it out. So I went the opposite way. I believe it was Christmas morning. We went on a hike back when we still had my awesome dog, old Cleodio. And it had rained out, and it was all muddy, and she was pissed, and we were going up this hill, and she just was fucking upset. She was not having a good time. And I had no plan. I just knew I was going to ask her on the hike. And then we just came to this rock that had this, it just was overlooking downtown LA. And I just told her to sit down for a second. And I acted like I was having trouble with the dog and asked her if she could reach into my pocket, my jacket pocket. And she pulled it out. And it was a little Tiffany box or whatever. And then she went, you know, put her hand over her mouth and just started sobbing. And that was one of the happiest days of my life. Not only because I did it and I felt great and I knew it was right and I knew it was the right decision, but also when when you're an asshole like me and your woman is always mad at you, I just knew for the rest of the day she was going to be in a good mood. And I don't think I've ever had another day like that. At any moment, I'm telling you, today I have this habit. I fucking get a glass of water. I set it down on the floor. I think to myself, Bill, don't put it on the fucking floor. You're going to somehow knock it over. And I do it every fucking time. And I was with my son and I was bouncing him on the exercise ball and I finally got him to sleep. And the exercise ball was in between this little crib. So I kicked it backwards with my fucking, my heel. And I just heard it. I had a giant, the fucking workout level bottle. I just heard it hit the ground and go, goo, that sound it makes, and it's just the fucking water just pouring out. And I was just like, you gotta be fucking, how many fucking times, you fucking stupid fucking cocksucker. I mean, I wasn't screaming because I didn't want to wake up my kid, but my wife heard it. What was that? It's just like, what was that? It was just me being me. So anyway, all right. Aggressively woke girlfriend dumped me. All right. Dear Billy, I hate when you guys give me nicknames that I don't understand. Bella, because I feel like it's a good joke and I'm ruining it. Bella Costco, binging bitch. Now I got to look up Bellicosco. What the fuck is that? Is this something that I should know? Is there something I should know? All right. Bellicoso. Bellicosco. Oh. Traditionally a short pyramid-shaped cigar with a shorter, more rounded taper at the head. Is that what I call a torpedo? Oh, I like it. Oh, there you go. There you go. I get it. Well, torpedo, I think is. I like the ones that are tapered at both ends. All right. Why are you bringing up cigars? You make me fucking go smoke here, right? I thought they said my tits. It says my title is a bit of clickbait, but I got you this far, so no regrets. Oh, it's a bit of clickbait? Well, Andrew reads these, so, I mean, if this is just a long, boring one, because I usually find that that's what clickbait is. It's just fucking boring. All right, my girlfriend, or I guess my ex-girlfriend now, is a very good person and absolutely beautiful, brilliant, and caring. Fuck, I'm sorry. I can't stop yawning here. We are in medical school together, and we're dating for 2 years. Everything was great initially. We had, oh my God, can you imagine the combined student loan debt you guys would have? We had deep conversations and were each other's best friends. So when it came time to pick a hospital for rotations, we chose one in her hometown and decided to move in together. What could go wrong? This sounds great so far. She was actually the stronger voice in asking for the move in. I was down to do it, but I didn't want to upset her old school Catholic parents because I figured that I should be on their good side if I proposed in a year or two. That said, for the past few months, she has gotten more and more progressive to an intense degree. We started having political fights, and I really didn't feel heard. I'm left-wing, but not as far as her. Oh. For example, my dad's mentally handicapped cousin, he had a virus when he was little that messed up his brain, runs a liquor store in this state that I'm not going to say. I just don't like getting people in trouble here. It got burned down on the second night of protesting, rioting after George Floyd got murdered. Our classmates were talking about police violence on our school message board, so I posted that I'm all for Black Lives Matter, and the message, systematic racism is awful and needs to be stopped, but this violence has gotten out of hand and needs to end. I just asked for things to be done peacefully. Yeah, well, you're kind of confusing the rioters with the Black Lives Matter people that were protesting, and you're always going to have morons. All right? There's people on the right politically that you can have a conversation with, and then there's fucking morons running around with their dick out in their four-wheeler talking about freedom, right? And then you got on the left, you got fucking people intelligent people you can have a fucking conversation with, and then you get these fucking, I don't know what the fuck you want to call them, these people like, you should dress your son in pink and give him a fucking flower, and just like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All right. She then comes over to me in our bedroom and launches into this thing about how saying that I'm diminishing the movement and I need to not say these things to other people. Yeah, see, this is where it gets fed. You shouldn't say what you feel? How I need to understand the pain of black people, the pain black people are going through, and offer support. How it's not time for my comments because I'm white and have never felt systematic oppression. On my side, I'm pissed. My dad and uncle are now taking care of their cousin who has had very little income due to COVID and now doesn't even have a shop. Plus, there's some issues with insurance because being covered for fire and theft is different from being covered for a riot. I don't really get the financial details, but I do know that my dad has had to postpone his retirement because of all of this. He's 70 years old and is still working to provide for my family of 7. I told her I have a right to be angry and voice my opinions too. I also pointed out that calling for peace is not disagreeing with the protesters' message. I'm Jewish and have experienced my fair share of anti-Semitism. The anger I feel towards anti-Semites would never be an excuse to commit a violent act against someone. Okay, but in fairness, like the level of violence towards black, I don't think that Jewish people just get pulled over for being Jewish. I mean, historically, obviously, you've been through some shit, but as far as your existence in this country, you know what I mean? If you're gonna look at like March Madness, what are you ranked in the brackets? All right, I would say you're about an 11 seed. Anyways, we've had other fights over things like feminism. 16 seed. Oh, Jesus, I'm going to get shit for this. I'm all for equality between sexes and want to do my part, like taking on more child-rearing responsibility when I have kids. Hey, be careful with that, buddy. Be careful with this, because these fucking smart-ass women have basically downloaded a bunch of shit that they don't want to do anymore and have not uploaded any of our shit jobs. So the guys kept all of their shit jobs and now are picking up their shit shifts also. And then they're fucking sitting over there. They won't even make you a fucking sandwich anymore. Anyways, but I refuse to label myself as a feminist because I think there's a lot of negative man-hating ideologies associated with that group. It absolutely is. They're guilty of a lot of the things that they're against. Not cool feminists, ones you can actually talk to. They're very rare, like a cool sports fan that can admit that his team, got beat by a better team. It's very rare. I'm a bit of a cunt when it comes to being a sports fan. I'm just a bit of a cunt in general. Anyways. She is firm that if I support women, I need to label myself as a feminist. Fuck this fucking chick, dude. Fuck this chick. Fuck this chick. Otherwise, I'm denigrating her beliefs. I responded that I am a firm supporter of Israel's right to exist, but I would never label myself as a Zionist because I think the treatment of the Palestinians has been horrendous. All right, dude, you're really coming off like a fucking level-headed person here. Granted, I haven't been able to hear what your woman says here. Your property. Kidding. This all came to a head the other day when, after another one of these political fights, she dumped me and went back to her parents' place. Now I'm paying the full rent on an apartment that's way out of my price range because she insisted on a 2-bedroom in a city where I don't know anybody. I'm thousands of miles from my friends and family, and as a kicker, her dad is a chief attending at the hospital we're going to be rotating at, and either he or one of his colleagues will be directly in control of my first clerkship grade. He's a very nice guy and has always been kind to me, but I still feel like I'm fucked. I have no idea how he interpreted our breakup and obviously have no control over his response. The worst part is I miss her a lot and I'm more sad than angry. Underneath all of this, I think the woke stuff is an excuse to be mad at me. Yeah, I was kind of saying this is sort of a weird thing to break up with somebody over. So she either wanted to do it or just went off the deep end, which happens to people. I went off the deep end in the late 2000s, early, to go back and listen to those podcasts. And I was just talking about the Federal Reserve and all of this fucking crazy shit. Still don't think I'm wrong, but I mean, that's not a place you want to be mentally, and it just wears people out around you. Anyways, she has been upset about my lack of effort in our relationship for a few months. She constantly comments on how I don't take her on dates anymore, which has been hard to do with COVID, but honestly, I have no excuse. Dude, yes you do. You're in fucking medical school. You're in a 2-bedroom expensive fucking goddamn thing. You guys are both buried in fucking student loans. The fuck is wrong with this person? I don't know, dude. I think, once you get past this bullshit, listen, if you have a shot in hell at making a relationship work, you got to find a sweetheart. All right? Yeah, this is the way you've written this. This is nuts. Anyways, I could have done more and I could have been more invested. I fucked up in that regard. Also, her parents are very religious, so I think moving in with me was a culture shock. And although she was the only one really pushing for the move-in, I think it got scary because that leap is a huge separation from her parents and her childhood culture. Anyways, any advice you or Nia could lend would be much appreciated. I have no idea what I'm going to do for the next year. I'm going to tell you exactly what the fuck you're going to do. All right? You're going to go down to that hospital, and regardless of how her fucking dad treats you, you're going to absolutely crush it. That's what you're going to do. Okay? And what you're going to prove to that man is that her daughter was out of her fucking mind to break up with you. Now, I'm not saying brown nose. I'm just saying go in there and fucking kick the shit out of the job. I would even maybe, address what happened. Just be like, hey, sorry things didn't work. I mean, she dumped you, though. So, I don't know. I would just go in there. It's a year of your fucking life. Kick ass at the fucking job. No matter what mind game, if the guy decides to play a mind game, which would be really fucking childish. All right? But you never know a dad with his daughter. Who the fuck knows, right? He might even been behind the breakup. You have no fucking idea. Or there's the whole other way. He might know that she's out of her fucking mind. Who knows? All right? But I wouldn't bring any fucking baggage. Call the guy Dr. So-and-so, whatever. You know something? If he wants to fucking bring it up, let him fucking bring it up. And I would, like I said, I would just absolutely fucking crush it there. You know, you can always break a lease. You can always get a fucking roommate. I'm sure you're going to meet somebody. Get a fucking roommate. Do not fucking get another girlfriend this quick and get him in there. I wouldn't do that either. I would just get another fucking roommate. You know? I don't know. Do the prison workout. Keep yourself in shape. And I don't know, if you still really like this chick, maybe keep like a fucking open mind. But you definitely got to draw some lines and get some boundaries if you're going to get back together. All right? Just tell her straight up, like, listen, you were a sweetheart and I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you. And I definitely dropped the ball in some areas, which I believe we've covered. You know? Because God knows she fucking read you the riot act. But you can reiterate them so she can feel validated. And then you can delve into her shit. And just be like, yeah, listen, this world according to Garp fucking lunatic bullshit that you've gone on to. She's not going to understand that reference. Whatever the fucking reference is. Okay? I am a human being, and I have all emotions, and I have access to all of them, and I have a right to feel them. Okay? And if I extend that courtesy to you, you need to extend it to me. And that's it. And if I can be adult enough to listen to your opinion that I do not agree with, okay, but I'll be mature enough to understand that you're allowed to have that opinion, then you need to do that to me. And if you can't do that, I'm not starting this over again. And I'll tell you this right now, buddy, that's the best you're going to do with that one. All right? Because this happens with people. Is they get into shit and they go off the fucking deep end. God knows I've done it. And it's not fair to the people in your life. So sorry that happened to you. Good luck. But here's the thing, dude. At the end of all of this fucking shit, you're going to be a doctor. Okay? And it's always sad right after somebody breaks up with you. But you never know. You might get back together. Or you might not get back together. And one day you're going to sit back and be like, what in the fuck was I doing in that thing? Putting up with that level of bullshit? Telling me what I can and can't fucking think? I mean, that chick is out of her fucking mind the way you wrote it. Although you're not allowed to say that nowadays. You're supposed to say that she's really strong. You know what it was? You weren't a strong enough man to handle her telling you what your fucking opinion should be. Jesus Christ, what kind of fucking world are we living in? What kind of world are we living in that shit gets taken away from people? Some of this bull, I don't know. I try to dance around this shit because I don't want to get involved in this stuff. But, I don't get this. I don't understand what the fuck goes on with these, we'll just leave it at that. With this whole fucking woke thing. This whole woke thing. Remember that was like black people came up with that. And somehow white people hijacked it. It's just a way to fucking, it's just this way to just show what a great person they are without really doing anything. Like going after the name of an airport. I mean, what kind of fucking effort does that take? All right, I guess maybe a little bit of an effort. I don't fucking know. You know what? I'm old and I'm going to shut the fuck up. God bless everybody. God bless you. All right, new segment recommendation from somebody. Hey, Billy Bojangles, I'd like to recommend a new write-in segment. After every Thursday afternoon podcast, Themelis plays a podcast from the same day back in 2012. During those podcasts, we hear from people who ask for your advice with their relationship or confrontations with neighbors. Now that it's 2020, I would expect that those issues to be fully resolved, and I would love to hear from those same people again regarding how everything turned out. That's a good idea, but it's also they got to be listening. Granted, that's putting a lot of faith and hope that they're still listening to your podcast, he just said. I'm saying this because I'm going through a difficult breakup right now and would love to get some perspective from people who are 8 years out from theirs and hear how their issues ended up working out. Might make for some good stories. Yeah, dude, just hang in there, man. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine, and you're going to find the right person. And then one day, you're going to, when you find the right person, you just look back at the other person. You're like, how the fuck did I even, you don't even think about them. And you truly passed them when you wish them no ill will. One of my first girlfriends, I remember she fucking cheated on me and all of this fucking shit. Just ruined my whole fucking perspective on the whole romance thing. I was just like, this is what this is? Fuck this shit. And, good 15 years of stand-up comedy, I was able to work my way out of it. No, dude, you'll be fine. You're not a psycho like me. I imagine you'll be fine. You just got to understand that going through a breakup is painful, and you got to go through it. There's no shortcuts. That's it. But I do know women get through them quicker because they emote and they cry. So I don't know who you can talk to do that. But maybe, you know what, for guys, because we're not allowed to cry, maybe you could take like an old volleyball like Tom Hanks in that fucking Island movie, and just cry to Wilson. Wilson. Banks and Islam. Oh, this is interesting. I have no idea how the banks work. Okay. Hi, Bill. I've been listening to the MM podcast for a long time and always enjoy your rants on the banking system since I totally agree with you. I always thought that Islamic banking was a more fair system, but I am certainly biased since I am Muslim. Well, tell me how it works. He goes, however, I will try to explain it to you in my limited English so you can make your own opinion. Oh, right, you're crushing your English. I don't know if you used an app and it just translated it, but if this is your English, it's pretty amazing. In Islam, it is basically forbidden to generate wealth by accumulating wealth. Okay, you already lost me. What is it? You can't generate wealth by accumulating wealth. I don't even know. Meaning, okay, just read it, Bill. He'll explain. Meaning that interests on money or anything are illegal. So you have no interest. So for people to borrow money and have a reward for the bank who lends money, they have to share the risks and the profits. For example, if you want to open a business and need $1,200, the bank will lend you the money, but they will have a share in your business, like 50-50. This sounds like you went to the mob. 50-50 in profits? What? But when you make your monthly payments to pay your debt to the bank, is that just through the life of the loan or for the rest of your business? But when you make your monthly payments to pay your debt to the bank, you pay $100 a month and no interest. The bank gets 50% of your profits on that month, but only if you made some money. The downside is that the bank owns half of your business, but you can buy those 50% back little by little. Dude, come on, man. This is 6 of one, half dozen of the other. They're still bleeding you dry. They're not. In that example, if your business is valued at $2,000, you can pay $110 a month to the bank, and those $10 will buy 1% of the bank's share. Plus, next month, you can only give them 49% of the profits. Dude, they're still fucking you. They're still fucking you over. In the case of the business failing, unless I'm too stupid to understand it, which is always on the table here. If in the case of the business failing after, let's say, 6 months, the bank loses $600 and you lose 6 months of time and effort. I hope it makes some sense to you. Love your comedy and podcast. And ya te faire un cool. I think that's French for go fuck yourself. I'm probably va te faire un cool. P.S. If you want to read more about this, there is a great example on the Islamic banking and finance Wikipedia page. Yeah, Duke, because that just sounded like, we won't charge you interest, but we own half your business. Forever, even after I pay the fucking thing back? It's kind of, it's just, you're just not calling it interest. All right. And aren't they accumulating wealth by taking half of my fucking profits and then also making me owe them that money twice as long? Oh, Bill, you could look it all up. All right, Islamic banking and financing, Wikipedia. All right, here we go. Islamic banking and financing. I can tell you, it can't be any worse than the fucking shit they're doing over here. Wikipedia. All right, here we go. What do we got here? Islamic banking and financing. Wikipedia. Oh, my God. Look how fucking long this is. I'm not reading all of this. All right, dude, I'm going to take your word for it. Sorry, it's late at night. I'll read up on it. I do find it fascinating, like a different way of doing it. But and generally speaking, wherever you are, and if there's a bank, I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't think, no pun intended, they have your best interests. Chicken intelligence continued. This is so fascinating to me. Chickens can count up to 10. which is what I said. That's why you should have at least 11 chickens. So if you want to kill one and eat it, they won't fucking notice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many do we have? We had at least 10. I know we had at least 10. All right. Hey, Bill, I listened to your podcast at the Troubadour, and I gladly gave them a donation. Thank you so much for doing that. And yes, the sound could have been better, but you know that. All right. You read my email about chickens. Coincidentally, you read it on my birthday. Well, there you go. And you complained that I left out all the gory Ed Gein details of chicken cannibalism. Usually people don't like hearing that stuff, but I forgot that you were enjoying watching videos of animals killing each other. I found it more fascinating. So this sort of thing, but I can watch them kill it. I can't watch them hold it down and start eating. I can't do that. All right, so this sort of thing is right up your alley. Here we go. When chickens see a wounded chicken, their instinct is to peck the chicken to death and eat it. Maybe that instinct helped them against predators long ago somehow, but it is a nuisance now. Chickens are often injured by being pecked at by other chickens that are stressed. An amazing list of things can stress them and trigger an orgy of cannibalism. Too lean of a diet, too rich of a diet, not enough fiber in the diet, changing the model of their feeder, moving them to another pen, too much sunlight. Jesus Christ, these things are temperamental. Putting different colored chickens in the same pen, and they're racist. They get curious and start pecking at each other. Adding new chickens in an occupied pen, which confuses the pecking order. Boredom. Accidentally leaving any cannibalized chicken remains in a pen. They are especially set off by any sight of blood. With laying hens, sometimes there is a trace of blood when they lay eggs, and there is a chance that other hens will peck the new mother to death and eat her instead of giving her a proper baby shower. What the fuck? One way to stop the blood fury in chickens is to use a special red light bulb in the pen, which makes them unable to see the color of blood. Does that work with serial killers? Like if they work in one of those little photomats, developing photos, do they stop having the urge to kill people? My grandfather would often put a red-tinted cellophane cover on the main window that had the same effect, and that would calm them down. Also, if a chicken is wounded, there are wound paints that can be used to hide the blood, and they also are designed to taste terrible to help stop the pecking. Another option that my grandfather used was to try and spot the most aggressive chickens and make a chicken dinner out of them. There is also a problem with laying hens when they start somehow discovering that eggs are delicious and start eating them. When the ruined eggs are discovered, the offending chicken has to be quickly caught and killed. Another chicken dinner, before the other hens become curious and start copying her behavior. Again, no one should feel any guilt about eating chickens since they too enjoy eating chickens. Still in the sticks. Go fuck yourself. Hey, they never tell you this shit. All these people who want to have fucking, chickens and shit in their backyard so they can get organic eggs. They don't realize that they're going to have, all right, chicken cannibalism. Videos. Do I do it? Cannibal chickens. How to stop cannibalism in chickens. Cannibalism or aggressive pecking. Oh my God, here's a 1:40 video.
Hi, this is Marjorie Wildcraft, and on this edition of Homesteading Basics, we're going to go to the really dark and gruesome side and talk about, are chickens cannibals?
This is not the right music. Are chickens cannibals? All right. Marjorie Wildcat, if you don't show me a fucking chicken pecking another one, shut up. Just shut up, Marjorie. You're talking too much. Here we go. Oh, my God. 55 seconds in. Oh, my God. What the fuck? Dude, this...
I want to assure you that that chicken was not under any duress at all. There was plenty of grain, plenty of water, plenty of forage. They are doing this by choice. They really see this as a high-quality protein source. And... that is just the reality of life on the homestead.
Dude, God bless farmers. I swear to God. The shit that they see so we don't have to fucking see it. Now with YouTube, I just saw it. They bring food to your fucking table and all of that shit. God bless them. God bless them. What in the fuck did I just watch? They just, wow. It looked like pulled pork. They pecked this thing so bad. All right. Can't keep up with husband's libido. Hi, Bill. Hope you're doing well. I love the podcast, your work, and your commitment to calling out today's bullshit. I can't get enough. Well, thank you. Anyway, or at least calling out what I consider to be bullshit. Not saying it's actually bullshit. Anyway, I'm recently married. I'm a recently married lady. Oh, by the way, that was some bullshit that I want to talk about. Fellow comics, when a comedian is involved in a controversy that could possibly end their career, unless you have any information to add to it, you should probably stay out of it. Like, to literally, recently I saw this, like, all of a sudden other comedians' feelings about the person's act or whatever, which has nothing to do with what they're debating. It's just, you know, speaking of chicken cannibalism, comedians should, like, there's enough people trashing comedians right now. You don't need to pile on. I was really surprised with that these past couple of weeks, seeing the amount of fucking comedians that were just fucking, this dude's a hack anyway, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, what the fuck does that have to do? So what? It's not what we're talking about here. This is serious fucking accusations, and somebody's career is in the balance. Who gives a fuck what you think about their act? Jesus Christ, people, can we come together somewhere, anywhere, on any level, at any point in this country? Anyways, all right, can't keep up with husband's libido. Anyway, I'm a recently married lady in a peculiar situation, and I would really love your advice. To preface, let me say that my husband is the love of my life. I adore him and would never consider being with anyone else as I grow old and senile. That being said, he's insatiable when it comes to sex. I like intimacy just as the next gal, but I simply can't keep up. I'm more of a 3 times a week kind of girl. Dude, that's plenty. But he needs it every fucking day. Now, I wouldn't be asking for your help if the answer was as simple as rubbing one out. The problem is that the relief is entirely different between himself and the real deal. I know he isn't just making stuff up to get some, so please bear with me. When he gets horny, oh my, this is just so out of my wheelhouse here. When he gets horny, which is every morning, if I'm not in the mood, he'll take care of himself to start the day. That being said, he'll remain in a bizarre state of numbness, just being morose in general. Oh, get the fuck out of here. He's pouting. He's giving you the old pussy pout. No pussy pout. I don't buy it. He'll try to hide his darker dispositions, but I just sense that he isn't himself. Out of guilt, I'll offer to blow him. But it gets very psychologically draining when you aren't in the right mental space for it. Yeah, absolutely. Afterwards, at least, I feel like I get my husband back mood-wise. The libido mismatch doesn't only stop at his relief. It also affects the general dynamic in the house. I can't wear skimpy clothes, or God forbid, I want to walk around naked, as I'll be relentlessly groped, caressed, kissed, and so on. Jesus Christ, it's like you married a fucking Saint Bernard in the spring there. I love the attention, of course, but it can interfere with the course. What the fuck? Now you're saying you love the attention. I don't know what to do here. But it can interfere with the course of the day quite a bit. I don't really know what to think of it since I'm quite average looking, so I think it's just his natural disposition. All right, that's called low self-esteem, sweetheart. We started weight training too, and now that he is fit, I just can't tire him out when we do have sex. Well, you need to start wearing a ski parker and start making him some pies. Other than that, I don't know what the fuck to I don't know what to, this is above my pay grade. Ultimately, I just feel inadequate as a wife. I wish it was just as simple as having sex with him every day, twice. If I could do it, I would. I just can't get myself to have sex that often without causing mental strain for myself. I know it may sound weird to a guy. No, it doesn't. It's just how I and many other female friends seem to be wired. So here goes. What should I do? Is there anything that can be done to better the situation? I don't want to lose him, nor do I want to trap him in an unfulfilling marriage. Please help. Can I ask you a question? Is he even as remotely concerned about your needs as you are about his? Fuck this pouting fucking asshole. How many fucking times you got to bang the guy? I think what you have to do is he's just going to have to realize that you know, just say, listen, here's the deal. I'll bang you 3 times a week, okay? Which is about 2.5 more times than most of the broads out there, okay? That's it. That's my final offer. Final answer. I'm not phoning a friend. That's it. I'm banging you 3 times a fucking week. That's what I can handle. I love you. You're the love of my life, but I can only fuck 3 times a week, okay? So you're going to have to figure out, how to take that sour lack of pussy look off your fucking face, because I've had it, all right? In more ways than one, sweetheart, you are bending over backwards for this guy. This guy can go fuck himself. All right? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if he needs to go get some professional help. Did you marry a fucking 16-year-old? The fuck is with this guy? I don't know. Tell him to go fucking jerk off. I have no idea. That was just my gut. That's what my gut says. I have no idea. I would go seek professional help on that one. But I'm being a little hard on him. No pun intended. Oh, Jesus, all kinds of innuendo here. Have you told him how this makes you feel? Is there anything worse than seeing a grown man pouting? Jesus Christ. Grow some fucking balls, you pussy. Girlfriend's mother is also our landlord. All right, well, this relationship's over. Hey, Billy, real estate. I've been with my girl now for about 1.5 years, and we moved in together about 6 months ago. Okay, before I read any further, did you already know that your landlord was going to be her mother? When searching for rental properties, her mother mentioned she planned to move out of the city, but didn't want to sell her home for whatever reason. She offered up the idea that we rent it from her. Ooh, no lease, pet-friendly, etc. I thought, sweet. Yeah, they say when something seems too good to be true, it usually is. Anyway, we decided to move in. I thought having her mother as a landlord would prove to be beneficial and cheaper. All capital letters. Wrong. The estimated rent on the house is lower than what we actually pay by a couple $100s. Her reasoning for that is unexpected maintenance. Wait, the estimated rent on the house is lower than what we would actually pay. So she is giving you a break. Did you write that correctly, or am I reading this wrong? Her reasoning for that is unexpected maintenance. I learned soon after that the rent she is charging us is actually the amount of her mortgages every month. Can't even cut your own daughter a break. Well, she is. She fucking let you guys go in there without first and last. Is she supposed to take a loss on it? If she rented it to someone else, she probably would have rented a little more than the mortgage. She's just breaking even, although she is, building equity in the house. She is also completely scatterbrained and is in no way fit to be a landlord. Her mom agreed to pay the water/trash for us since it's next to nothing. One day, my girl calls me and says the water may be getting shut off because there was a mistake at the water department. Bullshit, I thought. The water company has been doing this shit forever. There's no billing error. Without either of these dumb broads' knowledge, I called the water... Dude, you're already out of this relationship. You're calling the mother of your girlfriend a dumb broad and your girlfriend a dumb broad. So I'm just going to enjoy the rest of this story. I know this relationship's over. Without either of these dumb broads' knowledge, I called the water department myself and learned that she hadn't paid the bill in over 5 months, then proceeded to lie about it. Great. I have also become the handyman around the house, which is fine, but half the time the expenses are expected to come out of my pocket, and I'm always made out to be the dick for speaking up since this is my girl's mom. Dude, you should take all of this as a learning experience. I've started to refuse to fix anything, which has resulted in windows that don't lock, doors that don't, knobs that don't turn, and a deck that is one soft blow away from toppling over. She's known about these problems for months now. I love my girl, and we have a good time together, but I am starting to think I need to remove myself from this situation. What do you think? I thought that from the second I fucking read the first sentence. And then it was solidified when you called your girlfriend and your girlfriend's mom dumb broads. This is past the point of being able to be fixed. Her mom is a real estate agent, and I wouldn't even consider buying a dollhouse from her. Yeah, dude, you're out. You don't want to breed with this family. You're not going to marry this woman. You're done. You're out. The decision's already been made. Maybe you just needed to hear it from a complete stranger. Congratulations, sir. You know what you want to do. Now, here's what you have to do. Okay? You don't want to break up and then go look for a place. Okay? What you want to do is find a place, get your first and last in there. Okay? You want to do that. You take a day off from fucking work when your girlfriend's at work, all right? And you pack like a fucking lunatic that realizes the feds are going to be there in 20 minutes. And you're looking at life in prison. You pack all your shit up, maybe with the buddy of yours. Well, I guess you don't have to call in sick because you're fucking, I don't know, pandemic, some people are working. You get all your shit the fuck out of there. You put it in your new place. Then you sit her down, you say, listen, we need to talk. She says, where's all your stuff? You say, that's what we need to talk about. I don't want to go out with you anymore. It's not me, it's you. It's not me, it's not you, it's your mother. And it is you. You're both a couple of dumb brats. Don't say that. Just say, yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not in love with you anymore. I hate my life here. I don't like this. You're a sweetheart. You deserve to find love. Okay? And then that's it. So you're leaving? Yes, I am leaving. And then you fucking leave. And then that's it. And then it's over. Then it's over. You get the fuck out of there. Okay? When breaking up with a woman, you need to get the fuck out of there. You need to get the fuck away from them. Okay? Because they're going to make you break up with them 58 fucking times. They're going to go through all the fucking emotion, and then right as you're starting to get your shit together, they're going to call you up and mind fuck you and send you back to square one again, and they're not going to leave you alone until they feel like they've inflicted enough pain on you for you breaking up with them that they not only did they get even, they got a little better on you. That's what the fuck's going to happen. So get the fuck out of that situation. That's it, okay? All right. I'm currently working the night shift, and I have to drive 65 kilometers home every night through the literal fucking wilderness. Well, that's going to be scary out there. Like antelope and shit everywhere. As long as there's nothing chasing it. Jesus Christ. He goes, I used to listen to music on my way home every night, but now I only listen to you. It's the only thing keeping me awake. Oh, Jesus. I got responsibility here. By the way, I'm blind as a fucking bat, and my specs are broken. Only one arm is attached. So imagine a 30-year-old single lady driving home to her two cats. I'm guessing that this Addo, I don't know if this is fucking the same thing. I don't think that's the same thing. So imagine a 30-year-old single lady driving home to her two cats and 200 houseplants, laughing with a smoke in one hand. Dude, you sound like a fucking badass to me. This sounds reminding me of AC/DC, Highway to Hell, when they would drive across Australia from Perth to go to some gig in Brisbane or some shit. I don't know where they were going. Trying to keep her glasses on her face in the pitch dark with fucking antelope on the road and shit. Thank you for the near-death experiences as well as keeping me awake and alive. This says Juma Se Pose. I don't know what that means. Is that sound spelling? Did you tell me to go fuck myself in some language? I have no idea. This is what's amazing about technology. As much as I bitch about it and profit off of it by doing a fucking podcast, once again, hypocritical Bill. The fact that you live that far away and you're listening to me and I'm making you laugh, I got to tell you, I want to thank you so much for that email because I haven't heard people that I don't know laughing, which is my job, in so fucking long. I never thought I would Jones. I was pretty burnt out from the road, but Jesus Christ. I was just talking to a buddy of mine who's a bass player. He goes, you want to just go fucking play a goddamn Dairy Queen up in fucking Wyoming? He was going, I'll play the fuzz bass. And you, between all your jokes, I was just like, dude, I'm getting to the point I'm ready to fucking do it. I got to do something. All right. Once again, I'm going nuts, and I'm giving that young kid shit. I think I learned a lot about myself. I gave that young kid shit at the top of the podcast because, I had to have my old man opinion. I couldn't even wait to say hello. Could I? Like an old man. How soon before I'm walking around my property in my pajamas? I don't know. All right, cigar ice cream. Oh, speaking of that, when I went out to get some ice cream, there was a cigar shop across the street. And because my wife's cool as shit and doesn't get on me about a lot of stuff like that, she was like, hey, BB, look across the street. Look at that. And I was like, oh, shit. She goes, why don't you go check it out? I was like, all right. And I was like, no. I was like the buzzard in Bugs Bunny. Not going to do it. I go, I'm not smoking a cigar in July. And she's like, all right. 2001, 2002, 2003. I was like, all right, I'm going to go over there and check it out. And I went over, and fortunately, it was closed. And, but I actually, on my drive, I saw two places in the valley that I didn't know existed that sell cigars. And now I got to go in there and see what they got. But I'm not smoking this month. I'm already 20 days in. I went a little crazy. In June, but I am way, way, way down as far as like how many cigars I've smoked a year. past few years. All right, there, Bill. Does that make you feel better that we all had to listen to that as you try to talk yourself off the fucking tobacco ledge? All right, cigar ice cream. There's a spot in L.A. called Scoops. They have a cigar-flavored ice cream. Go try it out, Billy boy. Billy old boy. What the fuck does cigars have to do with that? Why would I want that? I guess because I have a root beer float after I smoke a cigar. What an asshole I am. I have to look that up now. Scoops cigar-flavored ice cream. What if this is the guy who owns Scoops, and this is just his way to get free advertising? Scoops cigar-flavored ice cream. How Scoops ice cream changed homemade ice cream. Other than that, are shocking flavors like Cuban cigar? What? I'm afraid to try that. If that combines two of my favorite fucking things in the world, wait, is it a real Cuban? Or is it one of those rip-offs? These days you can throw waffle cone, you can find a waffle cup, Oh, wait a minute. The guy who owns it is Asian, and he's wearing those round glasses. So immediately I'm like, this is going to be the greatest ice cream ever. This guy's super smart, right? Sometimes like prejudice works in a positive way. I immediately think this guy's amazing at science and math, and he's applied it to ice cream and cigars and combined. I'm going there. God bless this guy. This is just a bunch of words. I'm not going to read all this. You know I suck at this shit. I have to go. I got to go. I'm going to go over there with Josh Adam Myers. Wearing masks, of course. Standing 6 feet apart. Oh, fuck. God bless this guy. What's his name? Where are we? I got to give this guy a shout out. After graduating, Kim taught, where the fuck is his goddamn name? His last name's Kim. That's like O'Reilly in fucking Ireland. Mashty Malone's. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. All right. You know what? I'm sold. I'm going there. I'm going to try it out. All right. Tobacco pipe. Oh, you guys are killing me with all the tobacco talk. Hey, Bill, I saw you on Rogan a few appearances ago, and you talked about liking the way pipes smelled. Oh, I love them. Did you ever try it out? I did, but I couldn't keep it going. He said, I got into it about a year ago, and it's wonderful. It is really a hobby. With collecting pipes and the amount of work involved with smoking a pipe, it becomes part of you. Try it out if you haven't yet. There is a guy on YouTube with a good channel. His name is Mutton Chop Piper. I think I used to watch him because I was trying to learn how to keep it going, and I couldn't keep it going, which should be the name of my fucking autobiography. I couldn't keep it going. You know, I had the crowd, and I lost it. And he has a lot of informative videos. I got a lot of great tips from his channel. Anyway, good luck and happy piping. I have to tell you, it's sense memory when I smell tobacco pipe because both my grandfathers smoked pipes, and they were both amazing people. They were both, self-made men who just, they were the shit. They were basically the shit. Guys. And they would sit out on the porch when they would come by. And I remember one of my grandfathers came, and my parents got him a hand-carved this. And I remember as a kid even looking at it like, oh, my God, that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And he was so excited. And then he had it in his back pocket, and he sat down in the car, and he broke it. And he was very upset. And that's a sad story. All right. Just remember his old man pants. Back then, those guys all wore slacks. Just slacks 24/7. U.S. invasions. Billy Beluga Face. Hello from jolly old England. Well, if anybody knows about invasions, it's somebody from England. Let me know. Love the Troubadour episode. Thank you. We're going to be trying to do another one in August. Not going to try. We're definitely going to do it. Like, that's become my pet project. If I can do something positive. Obviously, I'm not connecting with the youth. I will try to do what I can to help them stay afloat so they can continue. I recall you commenting on the U.S. being invaded and can confirm that there has been a few, including an invasion from Britain after the U.S. tried to invade Canada. The War of 1812, well, that's not how they tell the story over here. The way they tell that story is you guys were fucking still butthurt about getting your fucking asses kicked back in the 1770 somethings. Sorry, the War of 1812 was a conflict. That's when you guys burned down the White House. The War of 1812, I believe, right, was a conflict fought between the United States and its allies against Great Britain and its own allies, including Native Americans that Britain was protecting. Fuck you. You weren't protecting the Native Americans. You were using them for your own fucking best interest, you fucking tea-drinking cunt. It began when the U.S. declared war in June 1812 and ended when a peace treaty agreed earlier was ratified by the U.S. in 1850. Notable events include the burning of Washington. Dude, why haven't I read up on this war? There's something about powdered wigs and all that extra clothing that just bores the shit out of me. I hate fucking period pieces. I almost said that Shakespeare shit like that was even remotely during the 17 and 1800s. I don't really even know when it was. All I know is you can't write anything. And I was like, oh, William Shakespeare already did that. Oh, did he? Well, maybe because no one had done it yet, which makes him a maverick. So he's still better. All right. I'll give it up to the guy. All right. Anyway, it began. Okay. Notable events included the burning of Washington. Washington, D.C., I believe is what you mean. In August 1814, the British Army assaulted Washington, causing President Madison and the government to flee. I love how this guy writes this. You know, in the end, you guys lost because we still you didn't kick us out of anywhere, right? You didn't take us back over, right? I'm still claiming victory. Unless you were just trying to prevent us from no, you were trying to take us back over. If you burned down our capital, I mean, come on. Anyways, although we fucking blew up Germany, but then we stayed, right? I don't know. In August 1814, the British Army assaulted Washington, causing President Madison and the government to flee. They then proceeded to burn down the Capitol building that housed both the Senate and Congress. I know what it houses. After burning the Capitol, then we burned down Parliament, which housed Margaret Thatcher. Let me fucking explain your country to you. I know she's dead now. That was a tough broad there, huh? After burning the Capitol, the British, I bet there's a lot of people in Ireland wanted to fucking hate fuck her. Oh, Jesus, what did I just start up? After burning the Capitol, the British turned northwest up Pennsylvania Avenue toward the White House, then burnt that down too. Yeah, I remember that. It ended in a peace treaty. We were like, all right, man, we don't need Canada. And the start of good relations between both countries following the deaths of thousands. In addition, at least 3,000 American slaves escaped across the British lines. What were the British lines? Were you running Canada at that point? I guess you were. Many other slaves simply escaped in the chaos of war and achieved freedom on their own. Well, that's a great thing. The British settled some of the newly freed. Can you imagine being in a fucking country you're not from? Well, I think, running, and you're just out in the fucking woods, and then what do you do? It's like, all right, I'm not with those assholes anymore, but I'm still not home. It's one of the most brutal things ever. The British settled some of the newly freed slaves in Nova Scotia. 400 freedmen were settled in New Brunswick. The American protested that Britain's failure to return the slaves violated the peace treaty. Yeah, of course it did, because we wanted to make money off of them, and then you cunts did. Stop acting like you freed them. You taxed the shit out of them. You didn't give them any good jobs. Go fuck yourselves. Don't do this, you're the better white people bullshit to me, okay? You know we're all bad. Is this all my one-sided interpretation? Yes, because that's how history works. Well, I enjoyed hearing your side of it. By the way, I'm in the Army and have spent months living and working as the only Brit alongside U.S. troops. You should know I've heard all your shit talking before and given plenty back. That must be a lot of fun. I'm sure you've been trashing the U.K. as you read this. Of course I did. And by the way, my teeth are great and I do love tight jeans. Please come back to the UK soon. Thanks and go fuck yourself. I love going over there. What was I going to say? Jesus Christ, my fucking dad brain, old brain, whatever you want to call it. That made me want to read up on the War of 1812. I think because you guys burned down our capital, there doesn't seem to be a lot of, did we lose that? Let me look that up. I think that's when we just kind of scraped. Was that the Vietnam of the 1800s? Hang on a second here. Who won the War of 1812? All right, here we go. Britain effectively won the War of 1812, but no wonder they gloss over that by successfully defending its North American colonies. Wow, I didn't know we were doing that. I always wondered why we didn't fuck with Canada, but we did. And you guys gave us the old right there, Fred, and you drove all the way down and you fucking burned down our capital. I'd say you won that one. Okay, but for the British, the war with America had been a mere sideshow compared to its life or death struggle with Napoleon in Europe. I don't give a fuck about that. Wow. We won the Battle of Lake Erie, gaining control of the lake. And they defeated, no wonder, now it's split in half. All right, I'm in. I'm all in. Thank you so much for that. I'm all in. I want to read all about that. I might read all about it. I'm going to fucking Wikipedia and fucking click images, then talk about it on the podcast like I fucking know something. All right, stop bitching about people going to the beach. I already read that one. All right, advice and tip. Now I'd say, go ahead, go do whatever the fuck you want. Go play your guitar, get your dick sucked. I don't give a fuck. All right, advice and tips on improving one's wit. Oh, Jesus Christ. What am I running a comedy class here? Oh, jeez. Dear Billy Ballbag, first of all, how about Billy Speedbag? How about changing it up every once in a while? First of all, love your work. You're a funny cunt, old Freckles. Thank you. I got a question and would like some tips about being witty and coming up with funny jokes. So first of all, don't be witty, because witty is not funny. It's not funny. Witty lives in this weird area of humor where you're risking getting your ass kicked. I can't explain it. There's something with the rubbing of the chin. Anyways, funny jokes / comments regularly in conversations, especially in social situations like at work. I work in an office and have a desk job, not corporate or strict, fairly relaxed. And one thing I've noticed in this kind of work environment is the value of humor that some people have and how valuable it is for them as bosses and colleagues. It is for them as bosses and colleagues appreciate and value people with humor. Who doesn't like someone who can make you laugh, right? Apart from watching and observing comedy and things like stand-up movies or TV shows, what other ways can you suggest that can help with improving one's wit? Also, as a bonus, it is an attractive trait for the ladies. By the way, please don't cancel your Montreal show. Cheers. Oh, my God. I literally forgot that I was even doing that. I just fucking, you just reminded me. I was so fucking looking forward to that. Who knows? I'll go play a fucking parking lot in Ottawa. All right. Listen, this weird thing, I think, like, being funny, it's like having rhythm. Either you have it or you don't, and then you get different, and then you have different levels. But there's definitely, if you are funny, if you work at being funny like anything else, you can get funnier. I think a lot of being funny is saying what you think and being confident. Okay, so what I would do, I don't know what, I was just going to say what you think. You can't say what you think anymore, especially at work. I like your tits. You could do that. When I was a kid, you could say that. Nice blouse. Wish it was tighter. Ha, 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 you're never getting a promotion. You can't do that shit anymore. Kidding. I don't know what to tell you. There's no way without me knowing and seeing how you're funny, how I could even try and guide you. But are you funny? That's my question. I can tell you, though, trying to be funny is the funny of somebody trying to be funny is the effort. It's not what they're saying. So some of the funniest people I've ever met in my life are not even trying to be funny. So, yeah, I don't know, buddy. I don't know what to tell you here. Fuck. Trying to give you something here. I know it's attractive to the ladies if you're fucking straight up and honest with them, if you tell them what the fuck what your intentions are. Like, what's going on here? Well, I'm just trying to get laid, don't really see you as a girlfriend. I'm just having fun. I think you're really hot and I'd love to bang you. Don't say it like that. There's other ways of being honest. I don't know what to do here, buddy. Yeah, look, just keep swinging. There you go. Just keep swinging. And you know something? If you start getting laughs, if I equate what you're trying to do, let's just say you're doing open mics at work. Okay? In the beginning, it's all about having the balls just to tell the joke. All right? And if it bombs, just make fun of yourself. That's what I get for trying to be funny. When am I going to learn that I'm not funny? If you just make fun of yourself. And then with the laughs, you're going to get more confidence. You'll be more relaxed, more confidence. You're going to be funnier. How funny that you're going to get, it all comes down to the gifts that you were given. I don't know. That's the best advice I can give you. You like that? You like that? All right. Divorced after 6 months. Dear Billy Bald Balls. Now I'm thinking about that. Let the youngsters have their fun. Now, was he just fucking breaking my balls? Maybe that's what he was doing. I don't fucking know. I don't even know anymore. I don't give a fuck. I just want to get back out and tell some fucking jokes and make people laugh. All right. Divorced after 6 months. This sounds like a fucking sitcom that didn't get picked up. Divorced after 6 months. We shot a pilot, but it didn't work out. Dear Billy Bald Balls, love the podcast and hearing your take on situations. That being said, I need some advice. Oh, wait a minute. He lobbed it over the net. Come on. Where is it? Oh, by the way, rest in peace, Peter Green. One of the greatest fucking guitarists of all time. And the only reason why I know anything about him is because of Mark Maron. Mark Maron was the guy that taught me about him. Now, why can't I get to my fucking songs here? TV show, music. There we go. Library. I'm never going to have a professional podcast. You guys are going to have to fucking deal with that fact. All right. This guy just asked for advice.
It's time for advice.
Hey!
Your host, Billy Burr.
That's me.
And I'm ripping off this melody from
Somebody else. All right. The hypocrite. Here he goes. The hypocrite. Divorced after 6. I need some advice. My ex and I dated for 5 years, and I just knew she was the one. After nearly a year of being engaged, we decided to get married. After only 6 months of being married, I come home the Friday before Christmas after working all day to an empty house with no warning. And when I say empty, I mean nothing but my clothes were still there. Oh, my God. Like she paid for everything? We don't have any children, but of course I reached out to her with no success, asking if she'd be willing to go to counseling in hopes of working things out. And still no response. I don't want to blame the victim here, but what did you do? A few days later, I noticed she posted a status on Facebook about me claiming I was mentally and physically abusive to her, and continued to explain to everyone on Facebook that's why she left me and that she was unhappy the whole nearly 7 years that we were together. Why did she have to go on Facebook and tell everybody? Oh, this is why. I soon find out she was cheating on me the whole time we were married with the guy she worked with. We finally decided to move forward with the divorce, but in my state, we have to be separated a year before we can finalize the divorce. So here's the kicker. When my ex left me, she forgot a birdhouse that her now deceased grandfather built her. I texted her and told her she could come by and get it, or I could bring it to her. Or aren't you a nice guy, considering she took the TVs and everything, but she insisted that her boyfriend comes to get it. I told her that wouldn't work. Oh, yeah, dude, you could fucking crown that guy with the fucking birdhouse. Yeah, that's not a good situation. You might snap. Since then, she tried to get alimony and tried to take my house that I owned before we were married with no success, thank God, all in the name of the birdhouse that she claims I won't give her. So my question is, should I be the bigger person and let her boyfriend come and get the birdhouse, or should I keep it just to prove a point to cunt whore? Hope you can help me out with this, and as always, go fuck yourself. No, dude. This is the thing about women. When you break up with them or they break up with you, you got to get them the fuck out of your life. It's a cancer. You got to get rid. It's a fucking birdhouse. Okay? And here's the deal. That guy who's with that woman, I think you called her cunt whore. I don't know if that's her first and last name or her first and middle name. He's with her now. Okay? And now he has, that's like, what about Bob? I always use that analogy. Just pass her on. Just give him the fucking birdhouse. Keep your house. Let that guy lay in bed with her, knowing how he got her. Okay? And at some point, you probably end up doing the same thing to him, which is not your fucking problem. This is what you do. You give him the birdhouse, I don't know, that's a tough, this is what I would do. You can't just leave it out because then you look like a bitch. When the guy comes to the door, I still wouldn't say anything. Just hand him the fucking birdhouse. Yeah, what a fucking cunt whore. Because she's making you look at the person she was fucking while you guys were married. All right, dude, this is the thing. This is what you have to do in life when shit like this happens. Okay? Because I think she's trying to bait you into swinging on this guy. Okay? And then somehow, I don't know what, there'll be some new fucking law that if you punch the man that was fucking your wife while you were married to her, she somehow gets your house that you owned before you guys were married. Like there's some sort of legislation probably in the works. Okay? So, I think she's trying to bait you into doing something stupid here. So, the stupid move is to keep the birdhouse. The even dumber move is to take the birdhouse and smash it over that guy's head. All right? The smart move here is to give that poor bastard who's now with this cunt whore at the birdhouse. And guess what? They fucking walk away. You know? And you go crack open a cold one and thank your lucky fucking stars you never had a kid with her. Dude, she's gone. She's out of your fucking life. Okay? And you move on and find the good person that you deserve. All right? And just be lucky that you live in the state that you live in that actually let you keep your fucking house. Okay? That's it. All right? I mean, granted, I just got your side of the story, but I think you're either dealing with a psycho or somebody who just didn't know how to break up with somebody and just kept moving to the next level of the fucking relationship and then didn't know how to get out of it and then did it in a totally immature fucking way. That is not the mature way to fucking break up with somebody. I mean, I'm all for clearing your shit out, but when the person comes home, you have to be there. Okay? So it's a clean break. So you don't have to fucking then be living together and just going through this fucking bullshit. I mean, you don't have to if you're going to break up with somebody, you got to do it face to face, but you don't have to fucking draw it out for months on fucking end. So the first half that she did, cleared the fucking place out. I don't have a problem with that unless it's shit that you also paid for. That's a little fucked up, but that's how women operate. And guys don't give a fuck, whatever. You can always get another fucking table. Who gives a shit, right? But I'm telling you right now, it seems to me like she is trying to bait you into something. And I also think on some level you kept the birdhouse out of spite. Just let it go. Give the birdhouse to that fucking jerk off. He can go get with cunt whore, and you can you can be with somebody else. Who gives a fuck, dude? They're out of your life. That is a small fucking price to pay. And then you know what? She can focus all that psycho fucking energy on this new fucking guy. You know? Because what's funny is in his head, he thinks that he's winning. You know? So, I mean, they kind of deserve each other in a way, right? And then they'll bang and they'll have a kid and he'll be a banker someday. All right, doing time. Dear Billy Blue Bulls, love the podcast and I hope you get to perform stand-up soon. I saw you in Orlando back in 2015 and loved the show. Oh, I had a great time down there. Was that the one at the, was that the one that was at the House of Blues, or was that the previous time I went there? I can't remember. He says, anyway, I hope you read this email and can help me out. I am 28 years old and a medic in the U.S. Navy, and I absolutely hate what I do. All right, well, that's a big thing. You figured out that you don't like something. That's a big thing, and you're able to say it out loud or at least send it into a podcast. He goes, I've been in the Navy for 4 years now, and I have become more and more miserable as the time has passed. Well, then don't re-up. Like you, I've always tried my best at jobs, but even if I didn't like them, but I am starting to not work as hard because I am so tired of being the only person that's trusted to get the job done. I am so overworked, underpaid, that I can't even write it all. Dealing with incompetent leaders, to being treated like a child and not having most of freedom taken away from me. I just can't take it anymore. It's not like I can curse out my supervisor, even though I would love to. They treat me and other sailors like absolute shit, like we aren't humans, because we're a lower rank than them. That's never good leadership. Eventually your men will turn on you. There are a few easy ways to get out, but I wouldn't get the honorable discharge that I deserve. I only have a year left, and I feel like things are really boiling over for me. I am dreading every single day. I don't booze or waste any of my free time because I am working on my plan for when I finally get out. I stay productive in my off time. I would just like your thoughts on my issue here. The Navy is constantly up my ass and has total control over me. How would you handle being stuck at your job you hate and can't quit? Please let me know. All right, here's the deal, dude. You got to man up and do your last year. All right? They didn't force you to sign up. You signed up. You put yourself in this position. Okay? And it's going to be this great life lesson. All right? You got one more year. Don't fuck this up. You were a medic in the Navy. Okay? There's everybody respects that. That's always going to look good on a resume. All right? And you got a long fucking life ahead of you. And that's just going to be a dishonorable discharge out of the Navy is going to be a fucking albatross hanging around your neck. Unless all you want to do is get out of the Navy and sell used cars or fucking become a comedian, because there's no background check in show business or selling cars as far as I know. Just tough it out, dude. Try to find the humor in it. And I would just, here's the thing. This is the thing. A year from now, you're not going to be in it anymore. And you're going to get an honorable discharge. And it's going to be the greatest fucking day of your life. Your young life, when you just walk away from that shit. Or you can leave now, in a year from now, as you're sitting with that dishonorable discharge from the Navy that you're going to have for the rest of your fucking life, like a tattoo you can't remove. You're going to be thinking, going, man, you know what? If I just toughed it out, I'd be getting out now. All right? You've done 4 fucking years. You got 80% of it out of the way. You're 20% way away from crossing the fucking finish line and having a fucking beer and as many as you want, and none of those fucking cunts with more stripes on their shirt telling you what to do. You can fucking do it. You can do it. All right? I had jobs that I fucking hated. I stuck it out so I could be a comedian. I didn't have anything like you. I wasn't married to it. I can't imagine what you're going through. But if you've been able to do it for 4 fucking years, I would actually do an even better job. I would make the Navy fucking beg me to stay. You should fucking crush it in the final year and get an absolutely glowing discharge and then just get the fuck out of there. Get the fuck out of there. And like, oh my God, I can't, like, I'm getting a fucking feeling of excitement as far as like how you're going to feel. I wish I know what that felt like. Actually, I do know what that feels like. I've had a couple of acting gigs that seemed like they were never going to fucking end. I've loved every acting job and every acting part, but there has been a few that I've been on where the shooting days got so fucking long and you did so many days in a row that I just remember, and I would always look forward to when they were over. And what was funny was every time they were over, I always had a melancholy or a sadness. So I guess I don't know what that feels like because I guess the difference is I do love what I do. So it is great. You served your country, honorable discharge. You now know that you don't want to fucking be a medic in the Navy. Dude, that's a great thing to have on the resume. Don't fuck that up, especially if you been eating shit for fucking 4 years, and they're going to give you the brass ring and you're going to fuck it up. Don't do that. You don't get a couple turns left. All right. My transgender significant other is never excited about sex. Help. All right. Now, I had my buddy look this up to make sure this was a real thing. Okay, this is a real thing. Hey, old saggy balls Bill, I'll have you know my balls are still high and tight. I'm a bisexual lady, oh, God bless you, who's been dating a trans man, woman to man, okay, for a little over 6 months. That's fascinating. So when you met the person, were they already starting to trans, whatever you're supposed to say there? By the way, speaking of trans, how great is the Trans Am? Late 70s, 6.6 liter. I mean, all right, let's stay focused here. For a little over 6 months, we have a happy and healthy relationship and enjoy one another's company quite a bit. He gets along well with my family and friends and vice versa. And it has so far been the best relationship I've had in my adult life. All right, so what's the problem? Look, there is just one problem. He never seems excited to have sex with me. We very rarely have sex, and when we do, he hardly lets me touch him. This is a huge problem for me because I'm a very physically affectionate person, and I believe that being able to touch your partner is half of a sexual relationship. I have expressed this to him. I was going to say, you got to say something. You got to say something. I have expressed this to him before, and I can see that he has made the effort to be more open, but he's still pretty closed off to me. Well, is he self-conscious because he's going through this change? He's going through changes. I've tried to be understanding and patient because I know that as a trans man, he's uncomfortable in his body. There you go. And likely uncomfortable sharing it with the other way. I already forgot which way he's going. Woman to man. All right. But I just can't help but feel a little starving for a normal sexual relationship and affection. He sometimes makes me feel embarrassed for wanting more. Well, that's not fair to you. For example, we were on vacation and drove past a store called Sexy Stuff. Yes, with only one F. Sexy Stuff, S-T-U-F. And I joked that we should go and get some fun vacation vibrators there. He responded, "What makes you think that's a good idea?" Oh, boy. And continued to grumble about how stores like that are lame and not made for trans individuals. What should I do? I don't want to break up with him because we work so well together outside of this issue, but I'm just not satisfied with that portion of our relationship. Give a girl some advice. Also, your podcast keeps me sane. Thanks. Give me some advice. I mean, I don't know what to do here. I think you need to decide out of the fucking blue. You need to decide what's more important. Staying with this person. And, I mean, they can't help how they're wired. If they're just a less sexual person than you are, I don't know. That's a tough one. Well, do you love the dude? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This is something you have to decide on your own, but I think, I know personally, I can say that if I was with somebody that I loved and the sex life was not where it wanted to be, that there would be a distance that would build up. And it would be hard to not resent or just feel like you're being, I don't know, just shunned on some level. And I don't think you're being selfish if that's how you feel. So I think... I mean, I don't know. You've sat down, you've talked to them about it, and I think judging by what he said about the Sexy Stuff 1F store, I think that there's a window of opportunity there where I think, I can't imagine what that's got to be like, be one sex but really identify with the other, the fucking thunder and lightning that's got to be going through your fucking brain trying to make sense of your world, and then you're transitioning, and then having people treat you and weird and all of that shit. They're probably going through a lot of stuff. Maybe you can talk to the person and see if this is they just need time to get adjusted to their new body, I guess. I don't know. I mean, that's outside my world as far as, where I'm at, but, I was definitely with some women that weren't comfortable with their bodies, and, you just kind of have to go slow, I guess, is what it is, and be understanding, and can't make any jokes. It's a very sensitive type of thing. So I don't know if I helped you there, but I think the only thing you can do is try to help the person along and see if it's something that through therapy and talking that they're eventually going to get to an acceptable place for you. And if that seems like they can do that and they want to do it, then this is worth staying in. But if they're never going to do that, then you have a decision to make, which I can't make for you. That's it. But just from what you wrote, granted, as always, it's one person's side of the story. This person seems a little walled off and seems a little, like, why would you think that would be a good idea? It's a very, I don't know, because it'd be fun. I think that's very, walled off. Seems to go beyond actually. That's a very, highly emotional reaction to a stupid sex store. So I don't know if you can drill through that fucking bedrock with a vibrator from Sexy Stuff 1F. Maybe you can get through. I don't know.